Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Glowing Stitches. If you are new to this channel, please do well to subscribe. Turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever I post new videos. In today's video, we'll be learning how to make this beautiful crinoline dress, this beautiful flowered crinoline gown. You can see how flowery, puffy and classy this dress looks. So if you are interested in learning how to make this beautiful dress, please stay tuned and watch till the end. Let's get started. You'll be needing at least 3 yards of Ankara fabric for this style. Fold accordingly and start by marking out your measurements. So from your half length, you go up by 2 inches. My half length is 18 inches. So I went up by 2 inches, makes it 16 inches. That's why I have 18 inches at that point and 16 inches up there. Now mark your hip point and mark your hip measurement divided by 4, whatever you have, that is what you mark at that point, plus 2 extra inches for allowance. Also mark your waistline measurement, your waistline divided by 4 plus 2.5 inches extra, that's including the dart. Connect the lines. So you know it is like a fish shape gown. Now from your waistline to your knee point, minus 2 or 3 inches, whatever you have, you mark at this point. So I'll be making use of 22 inches. So whatever you have on your waistline, you transfer to that point where you marked 22 inches. So this is it, 10 inches. 10 inches plus 2 inches extra. If you want it very fitted, you can make it 1.5 inches. So connect those lines downwards. And from that point where you marked 22 inches, open up to form a triangle shape. Open up as wide as possible, like so, to form that fish shape at the down of the dress. I'll be using about 23 inches wide, depending on how wide you want yours to be. So connect the lines downwards and cut. And after cutting, you'd have something like this. Now fold another piece of fabric into 2 and place this piece you just cut out on the folded fabric. Ensure your fabric is well laid before placing the other pattern on it. And while doing this, bear in mind to add your zipper allowance at the back, about 1 inch or 1/4 inch for the zipper allowance at the back. So you do that and place carefully. Ensure to place carefully before cutting. And after cutting, you'd have something like this. Don't forget to notch and separate the back panel. Separate all the way down. And this is me cross-checking the width of this pattern. You can make use of 22 inches, 23 inches, more or even less for the width of this pattern. Okay, so let's keep that aside and focus on the upper panel of this dress. Now get another piece of fabric. Make sure it is well laid. As usual, mark out 1/2 inch at the top. That is where our measurement is going to start from. Then, you know it is an off-shoulder dress. Your measurement starts from 4 inches. Place your tape on 4 inches. From that 4 inches, mark your bust point 9.5. Then go down to marking your under bust measurement for 13.5, depending on your body size. Now go down to where the joining is. That's where we took out initially, 16 inches. I really hope these lines are visible enough for you to see them, because it's not really showing. I don't know, maybe because of the color of the chalk and the fabric. Now your bust point divided by 4 plus 4 extra, your under bust divided by 4 plus 4 extra, and then the joining point, that's like the half length, divided by 4 plus 4 inches. The essence of this 4 inches is for the bustier and the sewing allowance. So after marking out all those measurements, you cut. After cutting out carefully, you would have this. Now to get this chest area, measure at this point whatever you have divided by 2. Divided by 2 plus 1 inch is what you mark here. After marking that, slantly form a line towards the armhole like so, because we are still going to regenerate the armhole after joining. Now from the middle point, mark upwards 4.5 inches and stop at the bust point. Then connect a curved line towards that point where you marked your chest line. And from that point where you marked 4.5 inches, mark 1.5 inches and stop at the underbust line. I hope we understand. After doing that, connect the line from the bust point downwards to meet at the underbust line where you just marked. And from the armhole line, mark 1.5 inches and curve the line downwards towards the bust point. Let it meet at the bust point. Now what this means is that we are going to take out that space in between the 1.5 inches to form our bustier. So let's cut. After cutting out the front panel, now let's move to the back pattern. Take another piece of fabric and place on fold on your cutting table. Then place your center front on this folded piece of fabric, because you'll be using this center front as a map to cut the back pattern. Mark your bust point, your under bust, and mark out the measurements. Now instead of adding 4 extra inches for the allowance, add 2.5 inches because we are going to be adding that to the back pattern. Therefore, note that the type of dart in front is not same as that at the back. Don't forget to include your zipper allowance of 1.5 inches at the back, and then your dart should be on 4.5 inches without taking out any 1.5 inches like we did in the front pattern. Now this is what the back looks like and this is what the front looks like. So this is what the front looks like after joining. Now we are going to fold and recut our neckline. Fold your fabric and then mark down 2.5 inches. This is for the neckline. So mark it out like that and then mark it out like that towards the armhole area. Although the armhole area shouldn't be the exact 2.5 inches, to form a slantly U shape. Then you cut after marking that out. And when you are done cutting, you would have this. Now it's time to recut out our armhole measurement. So from your chest line, mark out this point, and from that point mark down about 5 inches for the armhole. So this is what it looks like after cutting. Now we are going to apply that same strategy to the back pattern. And this is what the back looks like after including our dart. So don't forget to cut your neckline also. Don't forget to cut out your neckline. Go down by 2 inches around that area, around the chest area. Mark these lines and cut. So now let's head to cutting our sleeve. For the sleeve, measure round your shoulder. That's to say, if your round shoulder is 40, right? Keep that aside and measure your chest line. That's this point. So whatever you have at this point is what you would have at the back also. Now if you add this 13 inches to the 13 inches at the back, you'd have 26 inches, and your round shoulder is 40 inches, right? So minus 26 inches from 40 inches, whatever you now have left, divided by 2, that is 7 inches. With my own measurement, it is 5 inches, and that is what you'd mark at this point. So 7 inches for one shoulder and 7 inches for the other shoulder. And for the wider part, this part, measure around your arm. Whatever you have divided by 2 is what you mark here. Don't forget to include your sewing in allowance. Also, you can make use of any length of sleeve you want. So this is what it looks like after joining the up and the down together. This is what the back looks like also after joining the zip to the back. You can see how freely it is to open. So now to another important aspect. Get your crinoline and make as many steps as possible you want, depending on the amount of crinoline you have and the amount of organza fabric that you have. So if you notice, one step is higher than the other. This is about 7 inches wide, and then this is about 10 inches wide. One is 7 inches, one is 10 inches. You can make your 3 steps. Just make it as full as possible. The longer it is, the fuller the effect. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'll be making use of 2 steps for the upper part and 1 step for the down of this gown. Don't forget to make it as long as possible so it will make it very full and fine. Now this is what it looks like after joining the sleeves and the bodice together. You have to join the sleeve and the bodice together before attaching the crinoline part, the crinoline organza part. So this is what it looks like. This is how the back looks like. It is already giving that fitting and fine shape. So let's head to our machine to attach that crinoline organza part to this dress to change its look entirely. Let's head to our machine. Open up the zip and measure around your shoulder to know the exact measurement you have at that point. And then take your organza, place both on each other, then run a gather stitch on it like so. Ensure to do this carefully while sewing, because at this point you need to be controlling the organza fabric. You may also decide to run 2 stitches on this so that the thread doesn't cut while you are trying to pull out the gathers. Now pull out 1 strand of this thread and pull out gently. Please do this gently. If you don't, your thread might cut and you would have to start all over again. Another important aspect is the aspect of the crinoline. You know the mouth has these sharp edges, so you'd have to cage the mouth so that it doesn't pull or maybe make you feel uncomfortable while you are wearing this dress. So cut out a little piece of fabric and sew in or cage in the rough edges of this crinoline. So that is exactly what I'm trying to do here. You know, we have 2 steps of this organza. That means we have 4 rough edges of this crinoline. Please watch carefully and understand how I'm trying to fix these parts. And this is what it looks like after covering the rough edges. Take your dress and start attaching it on the dress. Now from the zipper part, from the zip at the back. First of all, cross-check if the organza would go around the neck. When you are sure of that, then you can now start sewing. So that is what I'm trying to check here. I'm trying to check if the organza fabric will go around the neckline. As you can see, I even have excess, meaning I would have to add that to the gathers. Do not place like this, but place like this, leaving about ½ inch from the zip. Please do this carefully. Do not do this in a rush, else you will lose and have to start again. Sew around the shoulder. Sew around the shoulder area. And when you are done sewing, flip over. You'd have this beautiful effect. Don't forget to attach your organza to the down of the gown. That's the length of the gown. So this is what it looks like after attaching on all parts of this dress. This is the down part, this is what it looks like, and this is what the upper part looks like. Our beautiful dress is ready to wear. I'm sure you would want to try this out. I really hope you've learned a thing or two from this tutorial. Please feel free to ask questions, make suggestions. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel for more beautiful and amazing contents like this. Bye and see you in my next video.